Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla. So I was at the Fully Charged live show, and one thing that kinda shocked me was the sheer size of the home energy part of the show. There was a whole hangar filled to the brim with energy providers and EV charging companies, because as I have said many times before, it is not just the car industry that is being disrupted. So is the energy business, and nothing has been more clear than at the Fully Charged live show. So are you ready for the disruption of the entire energy sector that will help out our grid, taking the power from the few and give it to the many, by decentralizing the energy power distribution and let you take control over your energy and save money as well? Well, let's take all of that out and let's dive right in. So we all know that Tesla is in the energy business with solar roof, battery storage systems, and also being a utility provider in some places. And as Elon has said, long term, Tesla Energy will be roughly the same size as Tesla Automotive. But Tesla is not going to be able to do this all on their own, just as they cannot on their own transition the whole car industry to electric vehicles. But after visiting the Fully Charged live show, I can confidently say they don't have to, as there are already many other companies doing this. And one that has been doing this for many years is Indie Power Systems. They were actually the first to make a storage system by using old used battery packs from electrified vehicles. But I will get back to that story in just one moment. But another energy provider that does so much more is Octopus Energy in UK. I met them at the Fully Charged live show, and they do everything from renting you an electric vehicle, setting up your home charger, installing their heat pumps, and all their smart tariff features, 100% renewable electricity and no exit fees, and they have even written their own software to control the electricity that other energy providers like Aeon allow licensing from Octopus. The reason why I know about them in the first place is, of course, they are the ones that have partnered up with Tesla, making the Tesla Energy Plan in the UK. The Tesla Energy Plan is an energy tariff specially designed for homes with solar and Powerwall installed, as Tesla's authorized retail partner put up the Powerwalls and administers the plan. By joining the Tesla Energy Plan, you will become part of Tesla's UK virtual power plant. Tesla optimize your Powerwall's performance, connecting it to a growing network of homes across the UK to support the sustainability and resilience of the grid. So this is the key, in my opinion, to a future where everything is run on renewable energy. And all the ICE cars has been shifted out to electric vehicles. Because we still meet a lot of people today that say the grid can't handle if tomorrow all cars were EVs. True, but all cars will not be electric tomorrow. This will take many years. But at the same time, we could also say, if tomorrow we had the whole world running on renewable energy and decentralized the energy from the few big players to millions of small microgrids and home energy generation and virtual power plants, the grid would be able to handle it. But that will not happen tomorrow either. But it will happen. And you can't really beat or hold back a technology that is cheaper than what you have today. So it will actually save you money, as we have seen with the virtual power plant from Tesla in both South Australia, California, Texas, Germany, and in the UK through Octopus. And this is also where companies like Octopus, Aeon, Daikin, EHC, British Gas, and Indie Power System, and many more comes into play. So they will help us make sure that the centralized power distribution from utility companies that generate the power today will not have all the power in the future, because now we can generate our own power. put up a system that works independently from the grid or together with the grid. So Indie Power System makes microgrid management systems, including EV chargers and energy storage. Like I said in the beginning, Indie Power System was actually the first company to use recycled batteries from electric vehicles to put into a storage system. That is just a very cool story. You might even have heard about it or seen it on TV about 7 years ago, as they were the company that made the microgrid inside Yellowstone National Park at the Llama Buffalo Ranch. This upgrade gave the grid the ability to manage the new water turbine that was installed at Llama, and also the 40 kilowatt of energy provided by their solar panels. Before, this microgrid at Llama Buffalo Ranch used to be run on ice generators, as there is no utility grid in this part of the national park. But they were able to turn that noisy, polluting beast off and run on renewable energy.
From the generator system to the batteries, the quiet is about to happen. Steve, we're ready.
Thanks to 208 Toyota Camry hybrids, vehicle battery packs they used for energy storage. That might just be the best use case of a hybrid battery I have ever seen. Toyota even made a whole ad about this, the Toyota effect. So even Toyota wanted to get some of the good press that this microgrid put together by Indie Power System inside Yellowstone made. But I have to agree with what they say at the end of the video.
We have 8 million hybrid vehicles on the road today. At some point in time, those batteries are going to need replacing. So imagine if we can do this with 200 batteries. Over time, what we could do with 8 million batteries. Anywhere in the world that has a need for power that is off the grid could work with this. The opportunities are endless.
Yes, the possibilities are endless. And when all of these millions of hybrids becomes obsolete, we can use those small batteries for energy storage systems like this one before we recycle them. And with 208 hybrid batteries, we can power a little grid like this in Yellowstone. So just imagine how much good 10 million battery packs from hybrids can do. Also in places like Africa and other places that have a lot of sun but a very bad national grid. Here we could really see the advantages of the small and more affordable microgrid like this one in Yellowstone play a big role to get power and energy to the people around the world that need it the most, and take the power away from the big utility companies and give the power back to the people. Kind of what we also seen here in Europe after the war in Ukraine. The European countries do not want to see the price of gas rise that much again when the gas was cut off from Russia, because that really showed the European countries they are not truly independent countries as long as they are so dependent on fossil fuel from another country. So this has truly accelerated the renewable deployment in many countries around Europe. So we need more companies like Indie Power System to connect all this new technology together. And Tesla will be a big player in this game as well, and will partner up with many more companies along the way, so that together they can help with energy storage and solar, so electricity costs can be optimized with surplus energy being sold back to the grid. So yes, Tesla and all the other energy companies' systems are the way we get to a future where the grid can actually handle all the EVs and the ever-growing demand for energy. And we do need this, as many countries around the world's grid are stressed beyond capacity, as there today are 300% more blackouts than 30 years ago, like the one we saw in Texas in 2021 where the grid collapsed. And over $80 billion is being spent yearly on damage due to climate events, and more EVs are being plugged into the fragile system. But if that EV is plugged in to a wall connector overnight at most households, we can actually take that car off the grid and even the whole house off the grid with these kinds of systems. This kind of system will make sure our grid can handle it, as we will see a whole new kind of grid emerge over the old one. Solar, wind and many other renewable sources will feed very cheap energy into these microgrids that not only can take small community off the grid, it can also be able to support the grid if there should be a blackout. And of course, communities like the one in Yellowstone that don't even have the opportunity to hook up to the grid can suddenly get their own little microgrid without having to use polluting and expensive fossil fuel to do so. This is some amazing new emerging technologies, and more companies are coming into the field as they all want a piece of the pie. But I do see Tesla with their many years of experience in the field, and that they both have the hardware, storage, batteries, EVs, solar and software as one with some big opportunities. Many people are sleeping on this side of the whole sustainable energy storage, thinking that we are only disrupting the car business. But having been at the Fully Charged Live show, the EV and home energy show this year, you truly saw both sides of the story, as home energy was half the story at Fully Charged, and a new kind of grid is emerging. And many players like Tesla and Indie Power Systems and more will play a big role going forward, making the 100% renewable energy economy 100% possible. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.